Now, many preachers are well aware that biblical tithing did not consist of money. They know that biblical tithing tithes were given in the form of food and drink and cattle. However, they try to wiggle their way around that and sidestep that by making the argument that during biblical times money did not exist, that the people then did not have a monetary system, that the economy was basically an agricultural-based economy. However, when we look at the scriptures and we read and study the Bible for ourselves, we find that that is not accurate and that's not true. That in fact, at that time, people did have money. And they did have a monetary system. And they did engage in financial transactions using money. The form of money that was used at that time is called shekel. Now, a shekel is a unit of money. A shekel is a half ounce of gold or silver. So the shekel or shekels were essentially gold or silver coins. So they did have money. And to show you from the Bible that this in fact is the case, that they did have money, I'm going to go to page 33 in the Tithing Hoax. And if you don't have the Tithing Hoax, you can go to your Bible and go to Genesis chapter 23, verses 15 through 16. And I'm not going to read the chapters. I'm just going to make reference to what's in these. I'm not going to read these verses, but I will make reference to what's in the verses as relates to money and shekels. Now, in Genesis chapter 23, verses 15 through 16, it makes note that Abraham purchased a field with 100 shekels of silver. Now, he bought this field as a burial place for his wife Sarah. Also in these verses, it says Jacob purchased land with pieces of silver. Now, if you want additional reference as relates to money and how money was used during that time, go to Genesis chapter 33, verse 19. And it says here that he bought a parcel of a field for 100 pieces of money. And you see, and we use the King James Version of the Bible for our references, for our scriptural references, and it says money. So it lets you know very plainly in black and white that money did exist. And their form of money was shekels of gold and shekels of silver, and that's how they made their financial transactions, very similar to the way we make financial transactions in our economy, with our money. So yes, they did have money. It also lets you know, in looking at these few verses, that you cannot confuse money with tithe or tithing. That money and tithing or tithes are two entirely different things. That when the Bible speaks of tithing, it's speaking of 10% of what comes from the land, what the people could eat, what the people could drink. So it's agricultural produce. And you cannot in any way confuse tithing or the tithe with money and shekels.